you're thinking about it. And if you've tried it in the past and it hasn't worked, maybe you're reluctant to try it again, and that would make sense. In fact, I hear it a lot that people say web advertising really doesn't work. I hear people specifically tend to say that about AdWords. I hear people say that about Facebook ads. But they do work. They really do work, and they really do convert. But there's a lot that goes into making any web ads work. It's not as simple as running the ads. The platforms are great for running the ads, but there's a lot more to it than just running the ads. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume that we're talking about doing advertising for the purpose of conversion. And now we could do advertising for something like branding, and then we're not really worried about conversion. But in this case, we're going to talk about advertising for conversion, because that's what most businesses want to use web advertising for. They want to get leads. They want to get customers. So let's begin with advertising. And the first thing that we would need to do, especially if we were going to do AdWords, is we'd need to do keyword research. And we'll start with researching keywords that are related to our subject. But this is where people go wrong right from the beginning. And it's an incredibly important point. And I hope I can make it well, but intent and affinity are two different types of keywords. And let me give you an example. An intent keyword is where to buy puppies, Atlanta, Georgia, or puppy stores, puppy pet stores, Atlanta, Georgia, or best puppy for young children. Okay, those are keywords that probably suggest, search terms that probably suggest that somebody has the intent to buy a new puppy. Now versus cute puppy pictures. Now they like puppies in both cases, but in that case it's probably just that they like puppies, not that they're trying to buy a new puppy. Another affinity keyword might be boxer training. Okay, now that could suggest possibly that they're going to buy a new boxer, but most likely they probably already have a boxer. So you have to break up your keyword research into intent and affinity, because in AdWords you do not want to advertise affinity. Generally speaking, you want to advertise for intent keywords. AdWords does much better with people that want to buy something as opposed to people that are just interested in something. Now, you could do that for various reasons. If we were talking about branding, for instance, then affinity keywords might really make sense. But if we're trying to get conversions, we really need to focus on intent keywords and not show ads to affinity keywords. I hope that makes sense. All right, so that's really our first place to start, is keyword research. Now, once we have keyword research, now we can talk about things like creatives. And creatives in AdWords are text-based, so we've got to do a bunch of variations. And then there's display ad sizes. Okay, so these are the common display ad sizes. Now, AdWords has some other sizes, but AdWords, we're not talking in here about mobile ad sizes either. We have different mobile ad sizes, but these are the basic display ad sizes. So if we're going to do Google Display Network, AdWords Display Network, if we're going to do RTB platforms, we definitely need to create all these creatives. So then we need a B set of these creatives. So we're not only going to create all these with particular designs and particular messages, but then we always need to test A/B again for everything that we're doing. So a lot of variations for AdWords and text-based, at least 2 sets of banners for any display advertising. And now once we've created all those, then we still have to get them approved. Now we have to get them approved obviously first by the client, but then you also have to get them approved. This is especially for display networks. You have to get them approved at the network level, and a bunch goes into that. And then of course the landing page that somebody goes to when they click on one of the ads also has to be approved. All right, now we have our ads, and we need to worry about targeting. So we create targeting groups. So we kind of, maybe make an outline of that, and then we create an insertion plan, and we need to identify all the price factors regarding targeting. And there are a lot of things that we can target with. We can target with geography, we can target with demographics, we can target with interests, we can target with websites that they visited, we can target specific websites. Really, the amount of targeting options are incredible. Certainly in AdWords, again, we're target mostly with keywords, but when I talk about a lot of these other ones, we're targeting outside of AdWords, or we're talking about the Google Display Network. Then we want to create targeting groups, and the targeting groups kind of are focused on different parameters, targeting parameters, but also creatives. So we might have different creatives in different groups with different targeting parameters. So I could probably talk about this for a couple hours, and we do have other videos on that, but there's a lot, obviously, that goes into targeting. Now, bidding, which is closely related to targeting, we want to is going to depend on our targeting factors, and obviously it's going to depend on our budget. We're going to bid differently depending on how many targeting factors we have. We're going to bid differently depending on where we want to show. Do we want to show on only high quality sites? Do we only want to show, and those are really targeting factors, but do we want to show on certain types of websites? Like maybe we don't want to show on questionable websites. So we put that into our targeting factors, but that would definitely affect our bidding. So we're not just talking about where do we want to target, we're talking about how much can we afford? How many targeting parameters can we afford? And then inventory gets adjusted depending on how many targeting factors. So we have to increase our bidding perhaps to show where we want to show because we've limited our choices perhaps. So, and obviously a budget matters. So that's a lot that goes into bidding. It's a little quick overview. We want to obviously monitor everything once we get things going. We want to find out which targeting ad groups are doing the best. We want to stop the ones that are doing poorly. We want to emphasize the ones that are doing well. When we find one that's doing well, we want to split it up and test to see what aspects of that targeting group are doing the best. So kind of continual optimization. We want to cull out sites that our ads have been showing on that aren't performing. We want to maybe increase the bids for the sites that are performing. We want to continue to split test in every way that we can. We can't assume anything, even an ad that's performing. We can't assume that it's performing as well as it could be. So we need to have a continual methodology of split testing. And then our bids get adjusted depending, like for instance, as I already said, if a site is doing well, we want to increase the bids perhaps for that site. Or if we find that during certain times of the day we're really selling well, we might want to increase our bids for that time of the day and lower our bids for other times of the day where we're not really performing as well. We want to suspend certain ad groups showing on certain sites. So we're always needing to turn things off that aren't working. And then in AdWords, we have to worry about our quality score. Our quality score is determined by a lot of different things, but mostly it's determined by the landing page and the overall experience. It's also how well our ads are targeted for our keywords and so on. So we need to monitor that. A lot of other things to monitor in the landing page realm and in the conversion realm, I guess I should say, and that's all analytics. And then really to increase the performance of any advertising campaign, you absolutely have to use retargeting. Retargeting is great for branding, for things like event reminders, but for direct conversion type things, we want to maybe re-offer our offers for retargeting, or we want to do new offers in our retargeting, or we want to adjust the offer and retarget that adjusted offer back to the people that were contemplating the offer. And we're going to do our retargeting depending on where people left our site and what people did when they were on the site. And then we can also use it for lead nurturing. So if we know that somebody has been to our site and done certain things, we might want to continue to show them ads that are reflective of what they did. Now we'll talk a little bit more about that in the conversion side of things. Again, just to be clear, retargeting is those ads that follow you around. So we can do retargeting in AdWords, we can do retargeting RTB, we can do retargeting in Facebook. It's definitely important for overall conversion. So let's go into conversion here. There's a lot that goes into that, as we can see. So first we need to start with competitor research. And what we're doing here, and really this probably should be done before we do keyword research, but it's definitely imperative if we're going to try to get conversions, because what we can do with that is we can find out what's working, and we can also find out who we're up against, what we're up against, and so on. So in AdWords, we're going to look at competitor keywords. In Facebook, we're going to look at competitor ads. We're going to do display intelligence, and mobile intelligence basically mean we're going to look for what our competitors are doing, and we can use certain resources to do that. We can find out what ads they've been running, how long they've been running, and that will give us a really good idea of what's working. We can look at their creative, see what is working. We can find, for instance, creatives that have been running for months or years, and those creatives probably are successful. So we can model off of all of this stuff that we find. We're not going to steal it, but we're going to model off it. So we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to make choices and decisions based on what we know is working based on our competitors' history. And then we're going to do similar research on the landing pages. So we need to consider, well, what kind of lead bait are they offering? What does their copy say? What is their overall funnel? What offers are they making? Are they retargeting? And what kind of follow-up are they doing? So this is a really important step. It absolutely has to happen. And now let's look at landing page, what we have to do to make that all work. We have to get our copy right. So who's going to do the copy? Well, it could be the ad consultant, it could be the marketing department, but really it all has to go together. So there's a lot of elements to a landing page. Maybe we'll use video, or maybe we'll use graphics. We certainly have to have a call to action in most cases. And then what is that action? And then anything we do with landing pages, of course, we're going to need a B set. So we're always going to A/B our landing pages, not just our ads. Of course, our landing pages really need to reflect the ads that people are clicking on. So if we find ads are working, then we adjust the landing pages accordingly. And if we find ads aren't working, we also adjust the landing pages accordingly. So we might go through many iterations of ads and many iterations of landing pages to get something to actually work. Okay, so call to action. In many cases, we're doing a lead, and so we need, for a lead, we need an action bait. Now that might be a PDF, a free something. It might be a free trial or a low price trial. So that would be kind of the action bait. It could also be something like, make a phone call. Get a free consultation. We can also be offering an event, and maybe we'd be offering like a webinar for a product overview, or maybe an event for an industry interview, or we might be providing some insider info, but they have to show up to actually get it. Might be a special offer associated with the event. It might be a tutorial, like a live tutorial, or it might be a live workshop. So these are events. They're great for action bait because they have a limited time, they have limited duration, and there's something that causes people to maybe want to show up and do something, because if they don't, it's going to be gone. So events are nice for action bait. And then once they take the action, we need to have the process of thank you. Well, they go to a thank you page, and then maybe we use that thank you page to show an offer. Or maybe the thank you page offers a sign up for some newsletter, or maybe it offers a sign up for a consultation, or some other kind of sign up for that's in line with our funnel and in line with the action bait. So we might also offer a trial. A nice thing to do on a thank you page is a social action. Hope you enjoy the free download. Please tweet, tell your friends, that kind of thing. And then maybe a contest opportunity. They have an opportunity to enter a contest. So anyway, you can do a lot of different things on a thank you page. It's often wasted, but it can really help the ROI of the overall campaign, because you have people that have already taken an action to get whatever the action bait is, and now we're thanking them. The resistance is down, and they're apt to do something else. We just really have to ask. But again, that something else really can help the ROI of the overall campaign. So now once they take the bait, we're going to send them an email. And that email is going to maybe deliver the bait, and it's also going to begin the